Stephanie? Oh, never mind. Okay. She must be here somewhere. Okay. Welcome to the Monday night team huddle. We had like a leader call one day, and we're trying to figure out, where we kind of feel stuck in our business or others might feel stuck. And we thought that a poll in the group would be helpful, and having people who are giving us input helps us help you, right? So everyone had kind of said that finding people is a big thing. And I'm going to tell you, I have major FOMO when I see people getting together with people in person. I don't have like a very big in-person team. So I thought that this would be a perfect time for me to put myself out there and expand my in-person business. And this is something that I think everyone could benefit from. We all know that meeting virtually like this is great, but it's way more fun to do it in person. Am I right? So let me know in the comments if you have a local team, whether it's your team or a sideline team, or you have VIPs. Do you have local teammates or customers with you? And while you're putting that in, I want to share a quote that I found. And it says, if you wait for everything to be perfect before taking action on your dream, you'll never take the first step. Okay, so it's okay to get uncomfortable. It's okay to do things messy. You're not going to die if you say the wrong thing. Don't worry. But what can come of it is huge, great things, a big local team, local support, and just that girl time that you need. Okay, so Stephanie, if you could make me a co-host, unless I already am, I'm good. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to walk you guys through how I find people locally. Okay, so this is cold market local to me. I do have the script, so I will put it in the chat when I'm done, but I just want you guys to see how this can work and then make it your own. If you do not like the way I'm saying things, don't say it. If you want to connect a different way, then make it your own, but this is how I do it locally on Facebook, okay? So let me share my screen and we will go from here. Okay, so right here is this local place to me. It's called Porter Cullen's, okay? So it is a restaurant right down the block from me. And if we just scroll down here, you're going to see all this information about the place, the food, and look right here. Do you guys see my mouse? 5,000 plus people like this restaurant. It is not a chain. It is just in my town. And 215 people are my friends. So why am I not hosting events at this place? Okay. So let's say I don't have anyone to bring there. I don't have a team. I don't have customers. So I have to find them. So here is what we are going to do. When you come to your group, okay, so here is the restaurant. You guys can see that. If you scroll down to all this, you just click on here. Okay, now this is where it gets to be fun. These people up at the top, these are all my friends. Okay, so these are all people that I am friends with that like this restaurant. And scrolling through here, I can't even tell you who all these people are. Okay, so you can click on this, or you can click on, let's say, one of these restaurant posts. So here is one from earlier today, salad of the week, chicken Caesar. So the people who right here, 15 people have liked this. That means that they're on Facebook at least today, okay? I want to talk to women. It is just my choice. I don't have to do it, but it's who I'm choosing to talk to today. So you can look, you can either do this quickly and be like, these are all girls. So girl, they're all girls, except for Joseph, okay? So I can send a message to all of these people if I want. So when I do my cold market anywhere, this is what I do. I right click on their name. So and if you want to kind of what's that called? Whatever, pre-select them. So I'm just hovering over her name. So I see she has a picture. That's always something good. I see that she is the front desk receptionist at a salon that does not like Monate. So that's okay. We're going to move on from that. And I see that she has some mutual friends with me. Okay. So she's a good person. I'm going to talk to her. So I right click and then open new link. Okay. So this is going to open it up top. Can you guys see this up here? Okay. Same thing with Mary Beth. I'm just going to look. Okay. We have some local friends. She's got a profile picture. She lives in Chicago. I'm going to open that for her too. And we're going to just keep going down. Okay. So here we've got 11 local friends or mutual friends. She works at a hospital. She's got a picture of the dog. Cool. Okay. So I'm not going to spend too much time. I got to get this thing out of here. going through all of them, but that's the process that I would do. I just hover over them, make sure that they have a picture, there's some information in there, and then I just right click, okay? So we're gonna go to Beverly first. And I already copied the message that I'm gonna send to her. So here is what I do, okay? I'm gonna go to message. We are not friends. We are not friends on Facebook, okay? So I right click and paste my message, and then I change the name, okay? So you wanna make sure that when you are doing mass messages, you are changing something in there, or Facebook will tell you to slow down because they know that you're copying and pasting, okay? So here's my message. Hey, Beverly, I know we don't really know each other, but I came across your profile while I was searching on one of my favorite local restaurants, Porter Cullen's. With the seasons changing and cooler weather coming in, I want to continue hosting girls' nights, days, whatever, out events in the area, and thought this would be a great location for our next one. So stopping right there, I just said that I'm just trying to host these events, and it's the next one, meaning I've done one in the past, okay? So you don't want it to sound like it's your first one, and it's okay, Stephanie will go over that, but you wanna make it sound like there's more than just you, okay? And guys, there isn't. This is just me. I'm creating this right now, okay? And I had an event with myself last night at the dinner table when I was sitting there by myself, okay? So it's okay to say this and be more positive and postured. So then I said, would you be open to joining me at my next outing if it worked with your schedule? If yes, great. And if not, no big deal. Stay safe and happy fall. Does anyone feel like if you receive that message, you would be upset, you'd be offended? Here's the thing though, I'm going to tell you. This message is asking her to join me at a girls' night out. It's not asking her to join my team. It's not asking her to join my products. I am joining, or I'm having this event for community, for friendship, okay? Of course, I'm gonna make sure my hair looks nice. Maybe I'll, put some hand lotion on while I'm there, but I am not gonna talk about the business. This is literally just to build my local community, okay? So I always just make sure I change the name. So then I send it, okay? Now, you have a couple options from here. If you want, you can add them as a friend, okay? Because this is probably gonna go into her other folder because we're not connected. So you can add as a friend. I cannot because I was doing something earlier that is preventing me from adding a bunch of friends, but you can click add as a friend. The other thing you can do is you can scroll down and, okay, so she works at, or she supports this, I don't know, climbers, foremans, a tree company, okay? So you see right here how I can comment on here. That's kind of a bad one. Let me see if I can find one that I can. So I usually try to scroll through and find something that I can connect to, like this. Okay, here. Perfect. I don't really know much about this, but they're building bunk beds. How fun is that? Okay, I've got kids. They would do that. And this looks like it's actually, look at that. They deliver beds to children in need, okay? So I'm going to love this and say, oh my gosh, what a great program. Would love to hear more about this. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I am a foster parent, so I have like a really soft spot for this kind of stuff. So this is heartfelt, okay? There was a connection there. I did not have a connection with these gross sandals because I don't like feet. I didn't have a connection with eyebrows because I don't do anything with my eyebrows. I didn't have a connection with this because this isn't for me either. So don't spend too much time, but make sure that you're doing it where you feel good, okay? So then all I do is I close out of here, Beverly's name. And here's another thing, guys. Marry the action, divorce the response. Okay, so I'm not writing her name down anywhere. Beverly Flood is outside my head. If she contacts me, great. If she doesn't, no big deal. Okay, so if you are in a slump, this is the best way to get yourself moving again with no connection to the response. Okay, so I just close out of her name. Done. Goodbye. The next person, we've got Mary Beth here. Okay, same thing. Go to message. I am going to paste that message I sent earlier, change the name to Mary Beth. If you want, okay, so if you guys still kind of feel like, man, I don't know about this, you can even add another sentence in here and say, I love your little puppy in your cover photo. If you feel like you need to make more of a connection, you can do that. The girl before, Beverly, she had a great like beach picture. So you can connect more if you want to, okay? But look, so I sent her name. I know what the message already says, send it, okay? I scroll down quick. Here is something about a drawing that she must have won. Like, how amazing is that? I cannot comment on here, okay? But I can like it. Done. You can keep going. Like, look at this gorgeous picture. Okay, I can comment on or like this one too. That's it. And then I just close out and I move on to the next person. And then I close out and I move on to the next person. So this was just one post with all these people. I literally could message all 15 of these people if I wanted to. Let's scroll down to the next one. Here is a French martini. 12 people like this. People commented on it. If you want, you can always message Paulette, just like we just went through. And then you can, love her thing and comment here and say, oh my gosh, I love this too. Check your messages. I'd love to connect. So you can do that to make a second connection so that it's trying to force it to come to like her real mailbox, not this other mailbox. Okay. So that is how I find people locally to connect with. And you can do it too. If you were just at a restaurant, use that one. If you go to the local Dunkin' every day, use that one. If there's a park, people like things. All you have to do is search the name, and then you have all of these people who have liked it, commented on it, whatever. And then if you don't want to scroll and scroll and scroll, use the posts. If you can connect with one of these posts, like she's a Sox fan. I'm a Sox fan. Great. I don't like soup, but I like the Sox. I can talk to her. Okay. So don't think too much about it, but that is how I find people locally to connect with. And then the thing is, guys, if you're offering this, make sure you look at your calendar so that when Beverly comes back and is like, oh my gosh, I'm totally in, be like, just kidding. Don't even have anything planned. Have a plan. Like, are you going to do it in a couple weeks? Maybe you could say, does the weekday or weeknight work better for you? But make sure that you're not just sending these messages with no follow through. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to turn it over to Candace, who's going to show you how to do this on Instagram.
Okay, so it kept me logged in as Stephanie, which actually was convenient. So that was like a little God wink from Power Hour. Okay, so one thing, Taylor had a great question, and thank you, Amy, for putting that in the chat. Taylor was asking if you would already have an event planned, or do you wait and plan it afterwards? I would suggest before you're sending that out to have some dates in mind for yourself. And then always offer as a backup, if they can't make that one, to either come to your next one, so you have a couple dates, or a one-on-one coffee meetup, or a one-on-one instead. If they can't come to your dates that you already have, ask them if there's a date that works better for them, and if they would care to meet up for coffee, just to get to know someone in the area better. Okay, so I was trying to go ahead and pull up my Instagram, but I couldn't get out of the view screen. So I'm going to do it real quick right here. And basically what I'm going to be talking about is not much different at all from what Amy was already saying. With Facebook, it's pretty much the same thing with Instagram, but I wanted to share my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so bear with me because Instagram looks a little different to me. Oops. Just clicking with the wrong button. Okay, so you can do the same thing with Instagram. You can search places, you can search countries, you can search a specific restaurant if you know it. I have a place, and I'm going to put, let's see if it'll pull it up. Here we go, Centerville, Virginia. If you can just pull up the area and kind of see who has posted and tagged the area. Oh, geez. Okay, so you can do a couple things over here, and I don't know how to toggle between this on my computer. Okay, here you go. Okay, so you have the top posts, which are going to be what a lot of people have seen, but this one kind of looks good because there's only like 132 hearts and 81 comments. So that might be a good one to go to and check out. So you can go and see, she was at this farm area at Cox Farms. You can kind of click their page, and she's a blogger in the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. That actually seems really up my alley. And she's got a bunch of adorable pumpkins. So I was going to say you can do one of two things with this, and I'm not going to spend too much time. I'm not going to use my wording because Amy gave us amazing wording there. But what you can do is you can like a couple of their posts, and then you can try to message. Sometimes people won't let you message unless you are following them. So I can't send her a direct message right now, But what you can do when you find someone who is like a blogger in an area, you can typically go and find a post that they did. Well, let's just say we were going to go to this place and see if she tagged the location. Yes. So see, she tagged this resort. You could click that and go over there and just start searching and searching and searching and finding other people to connect with and message. And I will tell you the difference between here. So top post is what Instagram is really pushing into everybody's things, but I'm actually kind of shocked because some of these top posts don't really have that many. This one has a lot of likes. This one has quite a bit. But then when you come down here to the most recent, these are going to be probably some of your less popular, but you can scroll through and find some that probably still got good engagement, like this one. Obviously we're not going to Tulum, so I don't really want to be messaging these people, but it backfired me on going with that blogger. But you can do the same thing with like Australia, or you can search what Queensland. Let's see what it brings up here. And you can message people, and you can, if you just want to reach out and say, hi, my company recently expanded into your area. I really love your profile, is what I would usually start with a compliment. Like this one maybe. And would you be open? Do you keep your options open for additional streams of income? That's one way with there, but let's talk about getting local. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay. So one thing I would do is I look at like Centerville, and then you can kind of use your phone and use your map and like look up specific restaurants, specific coffee places, and you can reach out and say, hey, I saw that you liked Caffeine. That's a coffee place near me. I'm putting together this meetup, basically the same thing Amy is saying, or I like to connect with people in the area. Would you be open for getting my next mom's coffee out, or ladies, girls coffee at morning out, or whatever you want to word it. And that's, so like it's somewhere you can reach out to, somewhere you've already been. Okay. That's one option. Another option to help you build rapport and grow your network is to reach out to a restaurant or a place you have not yet been. I actually did this when I was going to Chesapeake, funny enough. And if you know you're going somewhere in advance, you can start looking in that area to begin with and start messaging people as, hey, I'm coming to the area. I saw this restaurant. I saw that you've been there. What did you think? And I'm telling you, I've done that in local areas as well. And I get responses pretty regularly. Like one of them was Park DeVille. I still haven't even been there, but it's somewhere in the DC or Virginia area. And people were telling me their honest reviews of that. And then there was like another coffee place. And then what you can do from there, when you start getting their reviews, you can say thank you, and then start engaging, and then say, hey, if I ever go check it out, I'll let you know how it goes. And then you're starting to build that relationship. And then maybe you'll get to a point where you say, hey, do you want to join me for coffee if I'm ever in the area, and see if they say yes or no. Somebody one time had said yes to me with that. So, that's just kind of how I play around with Instagram. I will tell you that you can get let me see if I can find a better. You can get very easily like boom, 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 and have so many different places. I will screenshot if I see a person who like lives in this area, and then they go and they tag a bunch of locations in their posts. Just like I did that one, I just clicked right underneath, and you click the location and it brings up so many more. And that just gives you access to so many more people that you can just go and engage with. So like let me just show you, because I'm seeing some confused faces real quick. Let me look up Park DeVille. Actually, that'll be a good one to search real quick, because I know that one's somewhat local to me. Instagram just looks so foreign on my computer. Might not be it. Okay. Let's say I click this one, and this person, no, that's the actual person in it. This is the actual restaurant in it. You can go and you can see who has liked them, and you can start like going to their page. See, this is a blogger. This is good. They might have eaten at this restaurant, and this is something else. This is a Mexican restaurant. So you just click the location and then it will bring up other posts of people who have been there. So you can talk to this person, you can talk to this person, you can talk to this person, and you can ask all their opinions. Like, hey, I saw you went to this place and I was thinking of checking it out. What do you think? What do you recommend? And it's just that simple. And then you connect with that person. You go to their actual page and you can look and see she's got kids and she has a dog. And then I like to like look and see if they tag other places, but she didn't do it in that one. If they tag other locations, you can also go to that location. And it's literally like an easy way to go and find rapid places that you can reach out and talk to and connect with multiple other people. Are there any questions with Instagram? I know it's kind of like a brief overview and it wasn't really working like I wanted it to begin with. Yes, that's a great question. Taylor said, you could say, I've been thinking of hosting a girls' night at this restaurant. Do you think it would be a good venue? That is a perfect question. I'm actually going to copy and paste that into my notes. Thank you, Taylor, for sharing that. If there's no other questions, then I'm going to pass it over to Stephanie, if she's still here.
Stephanie's not going to hop on really quick, but we're going to finish it up because we only have a couple minutes left. So guys, kind of what I was saying too, and this is something I heard on MPO. This group, I can't remember who it was, doesn't matter where they are, but they do an event every single Thursday night. Now, if you're by yourself, that might be a lot. I can't commit to an event every Thursday night. I've got kids, my husband works nights, it doesn't work for me. But what she said she did was she invited them to a girls' night out. No Monat, no nothing. And we all know that when you meet new people, one of the first questions is, well, what do you do for a living? So it's going to naturally come out. But if you make sure you really just push the community, networking, building those relationships and not the business, what you do is you invite them. Okay. So, hey, we've got another one is always have another event planned. So kind of what we were talking about earlier. If I say, hey, Tia, do you want to come to my event next week on the 20th? Oh, I can't, I don't even know what the day of the week that is, but that day doesn't work for me. Oh, no big deal. I've actually got a virtual event that we do on Saturdays. Does that work better? And then you just make sure you have somewhere to put them too. So you either put them in like a list so you don't forget them, or however you keep track of your people. But then every time you have another event, like, hey, I know that week didn't work for you. Does this week work better? I'd love to have you here. Or like Candace said, offer to meet them for a lunch or a coffee or a drink, just one-on-one. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but most people don't want to come meet a stranger for a drink. It's just kind of strange, or a lunch or whatever. But when I did a mom's night out. So my niche, whatever, is moms. So what I did was I hosted it the first day of school. Okay. We had a half day. It worked out perfect. So I just called it Back to School Mom's Morning Out. We went to a local restaurant. I had already talked to them. So everything was cash by each person. There was no like splitting the bill or anything. So if you're coming in with a group, especially now with things going on, you probably should give the restaurant a heads up. Like, hey, I invited a couple people. I don't know if you can reserve a table for us or whatever, because you don't want that either. And it's okay to say, I don't know, 16 might come or 1 might come. I'm not sure. They're okay with that. They have no problem reserving tables, and unless you're going somewhere really fancy, but reserving tables. And then if 2 people come, they'll let the other one go. It's not a big deal. But we just sat and we talked about things. And I made sure that I had questions in my head in case conversations got like, like I'd say like, oh, you know what? And ours was the first day of school. So it was super easy. Like, okay, so what grade are your kids in? So that was a good conversation to talk. And then like this person had a second grader and that person had a second grader. So just making sure that you have some things on hand to keep the conversation going, avoiding like Monat. And don't be the one to ask everyone what they do. Cause like they might not pick up on it, but it makes it kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie. So really just build that community. And then guys, you're becoming friends with them on Facebook. So when you're on Facebook, then they start seeing your stories, then they start seeing your posts. Let them naturally come in before you offer the product, unless they say something. You never know. They might be like, gosh, I'm just here and I'm miserable and I wish I made money from home. And you'd be like, oh, ding, ding, ding.
I also think though, with the whole meeting a stranger in person, I will tell you, when I lived in Anacortes, I did the same thing. Like being Navy, we move around a lot and it's really like, you have to put yourself out there or you're not going to make friends. Right. So it's all in your posture. Just like Amy said with her messaging, it's in your posture. Your posture dictates everything. If you're coming in this like, oh my God, cold messaging is sleazy and schemy and slimy, then you're going to not have a good reception. So you might as well just not even do it. Okay. If you're going into this like, hey, I really do want to build community, and you put it out there like, hey, I saw you like caffeine. I'm really into building community in local areas. I don't know if you'd be open to it or not, but I'm putting together this meetup of women for coffee on Thursday. Would you be interested? They may say yes, even though it is this complete stranger. They're going to go run to your profile. They're going to look at your pictures. They're going to see that you're a real person. They're going to see that, you know, you are a human. So make sure on your profile or your main page, your storefront, you are how you want to be portrayed. And then they might say yes. So don't hesitate in asking just because they are a stranger. I wanted to make sure I put that out there, because I'm telling you, I connected with so many people, more so in Anacortes because it was before COVID, but it was like total strangers. I was like, hey, I saw you like the same coffee hut I like. Would you be open to like getting together with a group of, I say moms because I'm typically talking to moms. I'm get together with a group of moms at Starbucks. It's not the same thing, but we can bring our other coffee if you want. And they came, and I made a bunch of friends, and I still have friends because of that. So that's just what I wanted to put out there. So don't hold yourself back just because you think that, oh, I'm a stranger to them. They might not
And
do it.
don't limit it to like restaurants. Not everyone likes doing that. Guys, you could go to a park. If you seriously search up the name of a park in the area, then you could bring your kids and be like, hey, and again, it's okay if just one
Dog
person
parks,
shows up. Yeah,
anything.
there's so many things that you can do. So pretty much anything and this is for anything. Okay. So it's not just finding locally. If you really like Pepsi and you go to the Pepsi Facebook group, you're going to find a whole bunch of people who like Pepsi. And now you have a connection with them. So you don't always have to be like, hey, you like Pepsi, want to make $1 million with me? Like that's where the cold market gets a bad name, is when you're not connecting with them. Hey, I saw you like Pepsi. I like Pepsi too. I'm not sure if you'd like to do this, but I love networking with people just like me. I mean, Pepsi is kind of an odd example, but same thing. You could do so many different places. So don't limit yourself. And if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, if you feel like you've talked to everyone on your friends list, or you just don't want to talk to your warm market anymore, expand locally, or grocery stores. Like I love Aldi. Find the Aldi in my area. Hey, I love saving money too. You know, whatever, just connect with them as a human. Or put yourself there. If you want to go to this restaurant, if you say you like it, go there for lunch. When someone walks in, connect with them. The waitress, connect with her. Talk to the owners. That's another thing. If you get a connection with the owners, they're going to be much more open to you having things there, having events there. Maybe they'd be open to do something or make a post about, you know, a mom's morning in or whatever. So don't limit yourself to what you can do, or think that you can't do something because, so I'm going to call her out. She's on here. Jacqueline is like the hostess with mostest. Everything looks so pretty. Everything just comes together. That is not me. It's not who I am, but I'm not Jacqueline. So I'm not going to compare her events to my events. My events are going to have like a case of beer and us just sitting around a table, because that's me, where she has pretty cups and plates and that stuff. So don't compare yourself to other people. But if you have no idea how to throw an event, don't throw an event. Just go meet up with moms, meet up with girls, and that's it. It doesn't have to be this grand event. Okay. So I think the word event makes people so nervous and like kind of self-conscious about it. It's just a girl's day out, a girl's morning coffee, whatever you want to call it, mom's day out with the kids. So just make sure that you're taking your expectations and lowering them until you're comfortable to be like, oh, okay, now I'm going to bring the oil this time, or now I'm going to walk to the park with my energy in my cup. Just something like that. And just, you have to get yourself uncomfortable, but don't make yourself so uncomfortable that you just completely don't know what to do. Stephanie did offer to go live tomorrow and talk a little bit more about events, because she does events in her area with sidelines. Okay. So if you can't do this by yourself, if you are like an extreme introvert and this is really uncomfortable for you, first of all, offer to do them virtual. Reach out to someone and say, hey, I want to do this, but I just don't know where to start. Guys, virtual happy hours are still a thing. Virtual coffee chats are still a thing. Those were huge for me when I was home with my kids all the time and I couldn't go anywhere because my husband was never home. I did
The
those
coffee chats
weekly.
are huge too. Like
Yes.
you plan it in your time zone, in your area, and you just jump on. You might have no one, but you also might have like 12 people. And you might not be able to go because they're still talking like, okay, I've got to go. But the coffee happy hour or coffee hours and the happy hours. And as long as people know that it's not you like trying to sell them something, I think that they're more open to still attend those now.
And Ryan said a really good thing about expanding your network daily. That really, while it's not an IPA, you're not asking them to buy from you right away. You should be expanding your network. And whether you are an introvert and you just expand to the whole country or the whole world where we are now, or you're someone who really wants a local team or customer base or whatever, expand either way. Okay. But you really should be talking to more people. And she said, she hasn't made a big enough dent, and that's on her. It really is, guys. If you feel like you have no one to talk to, everyone washes their hair or their skin, or they take something. So you can talk to pretty much anyone, men or women. And yeah, Jacqueline's always doing tons of events. So if you guys don't have any other questions, yeah, Ryan, you can unmute.
Sorry guys, just getting in the car. So that was amazing. I wanted to say that too. It's like you said, it's not an IPA. And this is where it just comes back to kind of knowing your pillars and what makes you you, what you're into, because then it just becomes natural, you guys, and you're not feeling like, it doesn't feel like work, I guess is what I want to say. Like when I say expanding your network, it's like you're connecting with other people that have similar interests as you, whether it's children, hobbies, you're a mom, a businesswoman. And so you're just naturally connecting and you're adding those people into your network. And guess what? When you pop in your curiosity posts or you're posting in your stories, they're going to see that stuff eventually. And it may not be, oh, you just connected or added, 5 new friends today. And, oh, I've got 5 new VIPs. I wish I could tell you it's worked like that for me. It hasn't. But if you've got to start expanding your network, period, because you also won't have that desperate feel of like, oh gosh, I've talked to everybody, now what? So start doing this now, whether it's cold marketing or you're touching on your warm network, but start expanding your network immediately. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, well, if nobody else has questions, we're going to shut down, but please feel free to put them in the chat or the group if you have questions, and then Stephanie will expand a little bit more on local events tomorrow. But have a good night, everyone, and thank you so much for following along with us. And I do encourage you to at least send one message. Okay, I'll put this chat in the group, or my message in the group under today's call, just so you guys have it there in case you didn't catch it from here. But send it out to one person. Go to your favorite restaurant and just send it out and see how you feel, and let it be. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, that's okay. There's like 600 or 6,000 more people I could talk to on that same restaurant. All right, guys, have a good night. Bye.